Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
And welcome to this Sunday's echo in the background. Let's welcome to the Sunday sofa on this sort of cloudy Sunday. But we're here to brighten up your day. And there's three lovely presenters here to make it even brighter. So if you don't know me already, my name is Polly Harnett and I am a spiritual medium. I'm a psychic, tarot card reader, animal communicator, trance medium, all those lovely things. And we are here to entertain you today.
Oh.
And I'm going to pass you on to the lovely Jane.
Hello, everybody. And again, those that don't know me, I am Jane Morton. I am a psychic counsellor, psychic medium, holistic therapist. That isn't me, people. We might
I'm
have
so
some word with
sorry
Sarah about that. Yeah, I do lots of lovely things. So we are now going to hand you over to our new presenter, the lovely Sarah.
Hi everyone, I'm so sorry about that stupid noise. That's my husband outside working hard. I'm Sarah. I'm Angelic Whispers 26 and I connect with the angels for you. Psychic and a fledgling medium, a healer and crystal lovely healing and a bit of everything really. So yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely. And
everyone wants to know what we're doing, what I'm doing.
And the first time today that we've actually all three been on together. So previously it was
exciting.
Sarah. Before that, just me and Jane, wasn't it? And
it was.
So yeah, we thought we'd have a new recruit and make it jazz it all up for you. Okay, so not only have you got us reprobates, you've also got the lovely Sarah,
the other reprobate.
So yeah.
And our lovely Sam O'Neill said, "What are you doing, Sarah?" and laughing.
He's putting some trellis up, Sam. He promised me he'd be done by now, but he's not.
Yeah, we all thought she got majorly bad wind, but that wasn't. It wasn't the case. So let's see who is on with us today. Who is watching today, Mr. P? So we have Amy Fisher. Hi.
Hi, Christine Davies.
And Orvan. Oh, I love that name. From Canada. Love it. Hi, Orvan.
We have Lynn Taylor. Hi, Jane, Polly, Sarah, and everyone.
Oh, I love that.
Hello, Helen Mansell. Thank you for sharing. Don't forget to share, like and share, people.
Mary Butcher. Love your icons there. Love it.
Hi, Sue Lawrence. Oh my goodness, 3 minutes past 1 a.m. in Australia.
Oh, bless you.
Sue must be having the same problems we're having, Polly, of sleeping.
Yeah.
Let us know, Sue.
Oh, you need some amethyst in your life.
Hi, Ashley. Wonder what the noise was. We were going to blame Polly, Ashley, but because Sarah's still a newbie. But no, we thought she can take take it. If she wants to be on it, she can take the. Yeah,
I can take it. Oh, Rose. Hi, first time from Ireland. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Carol Godfrey.
Hi, Katie Brindley.
Lovely Katie.
Aww. And Bernice, is it Bernice or Bernice? I never know how to say that name. Bernice, right. I love that. Botswana.
Where's Botswana?
Gosh,
isn't it?
Is it Africa? Is Botswana
somewhere
Africa?
Like that?
Yeah,
it's Africa. Come on.
Yeah, I think it's Africa.
We're getting around.
We are today, aren't we?
Love it.
We're travelling the globe and we're still in our seats.
Lovely Wickham yesterday.
Hi, Stacey, and thank you for sharing.
Hello, Lisa Hall. Can hear a tapping. Is that someone coming back in?
Emma
You are just-
Adams. Emma from sunny Cornwall. Is it still sunny in Cornwall, Emma? Because that's really good to hear. Because it was
I hope
amazingly
so.
gorgeous.
I hope
was
so, because
there.
I'm going there this week.
Are you?
Yeah. Hi. Oh, Richard, you know I hate these. Hi, I'm going to apologise now. Hi, Priyanka. Is it Priyanka? Hello. And
That's what I would
Yeah.
say, Jane. Definitely.
yeah, I've got my teeth in today.
Oh, lovely Joanne. Hi, Joanne.
And hi, Carol Roberts. Me.
I always think the seagulls on what's it? Finding Nemo. And
Oh,
they say,
yeah.
mine. I know it's
Hi,
mine.
hi, Kelly McKeaton.
And big love to you.
Jane Butterworth. Hi.
Sue Lawrence just up late, got some amethyst from my mum's estate. She died just before Christmas last year. Oh, bless.
Oh, bless you. Yeah, well, the
Ah.
amethyst will help in lots of ways for that. So
After this one, we'll get cracking. Hi, Paula Marie from South Dakota. So please do share us around, okay? The further you share us, the more people that will benefit from our wonderful show and guidance, hopefully, if you're very, very lucky today. Now, how we work, we are a chat show. We will be talking about a subject, and it is really important that you interact with us, okay? That's what we're hoping. We love your comments, we love your feedback, and we love hearing from you and your stories, for example. Please do, because the more you interact, the more likely you are to get a reading today, okay? It's not all readings all the way through, but if you are very lucky, and obviously if you are interacting and giving us some good comments, questions, or interacting in however way, then we will notice you, so please do. So today our subject is, and I'm going to throw this over to Jane Morton.
Oh, she's naughty. But I'm going to quickly say hello to Katie Hollis because I can see her up on the screen. So hi, Katie. Our subject is the NHS. And the reason she's thrown it over to me is because anyone that's watching in other countries, NHS in England stands for the National Health Service. So it's our medical health service that we have here. Obviously it is semi-free. I'm going to say it is free, but we do pay national insurance towards it. So, and there's obviously a lot of talk about the NHS in the past 2 years and the way it's going. And the reason I'm going to open up the subject is because I actually work also for the NHS as well as doing my business. So I'm a little bit controversial because people would think it's strange when you work spiritually that you would actually be working for the NHS. But there you go. So that's why Polly threw it at me like a hot potato. But as it is on me, I will open up. Obviously, I do work for them. I've worked for them for about 18 months. I have worked for them in the past, before I set up my own business about 8 years ago. And there are different trusts in our country. For anyone that's watching from abroad, we do have different trusts. They work slightly different, but they all follow the same sort of ethos. Obviously, COVID has changed a lot of what's happened in the NHS, and there's been lots of changes, which has now had effect on our GP practices, which is where we go for our day-to-day medical stuff. So it probably is called a GP still over there, isn't it? Doctor. Anyway, it's where we go for our day-to-day little problems. I am actually, if anyone's watching from my workplace, currently off sick, but that's actually quite a good way to open it up because I can't fault the team I work for. I work for part of the acute medicine, so it's a very busy, demanding place. But my team, I absolutely love working with. And also my boss is brilliant. He is probably old enough to be my son, but he is very good at acknowledging when someone needs some time out and when someone needs some help. And that is what he's actually giving me at the moment because I've had a lot of personal stuff and medical stuff going on myself. So to work for them, I can't fault my team or my boss. As a patient, well, that's a different subject. So I'm going to throw it back to Polly and Sarah because I could talk about that forever.
Okay, so Well, we were talking about this, weren't we, between ourselves, and this is why it's come up, because we think it's actually quite an important thing to address. Now, I have myself always had well, for example, I'm having a lot of problems with my eyes at the moment. I just like to say hi to Terry Louise, by the way. She's just popped up. Hi, Terry. So I have been to the eye department quite a lot of recent months because I've got some problems with my eyes, and I can honestly say that I cannot fault the eye department because I've been there a lot. Okay, every time I go, they're brilliant, absolutely brilliant service. They've been very, very good, very attentive with me, always booking up, things in advance and being very, very good at that. However, I've got to say, regarding the GP service that I've had, I have been very, very disappointed, very disappointed. And I think that sort of nationally, a lot of people have felt the effect. Now, they, like a lot of businesses, are blaming what's been happening over the last few years, because they don't want people in so much. There's lots more phone appointments rather than actual face-to-face appointments. And I think that is actually shocking, because when you are talking on a phone, it's easy to say, oh, well, it could be this, it could be that, it could be your menopause. I've had this, by the way, recently, about something else, which is nothing to do with my menopause. But because I'm of that age, it's my menopause, right? And I'm saying, no, I don't think it is my menopause. I think it is actually this. They say, well, no. So I'm talking about my stomach, for example, which I'm having problems with as well. And so I'm saying to them this information. They're saying to me no. And I said, well, could you give me some allergy tests or some intolerance tests, food intolerance tests? No, they're a load of rubbish. This is a GP. And I said, oh, OK, so they're a load of rubbish. So what do you suggest then? I said, I talked about going to a kinesiologist, and they said, oh, I shouldn't bother with that. That's, basically it's a load of mumbo jumbo. OK, it scientifically it isn't proven in the scientific world, for example. But I said, OK, so what are you going to do about it? Well, keep a food diary. I said, but it's really hard to keep a food diary, because if I have a plate of food, for example, a roast dinner, I don't know if I'm reacting to the meat. I don't know if I'm reacting to the potatoes. I don't know if I'm reacting to the vegetables. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I said, so how do I do that then? Do I eat individual foods? So a plate of potatoes, a plate of cauliflower, a plate, how do I actually fathom out what is wrong? And then they really were so disinterested. And well, it could be a funny effect of the of the menopause. And I'm like, look, I get what you're saying. However, I said, we can't keep blaming things on the menopause. We can't keep blaming things on this. Well, why don't you come in and we'll talk about HRT? I'm like, honestly, going mental. And I'm thinking, right, what's the point? Put the phone down, did a Google search, went and found somebody that did intolerance tests and got that done. All right. I paid £150 for it. But the doctors aren't going to do anything. The GPs aren't going to refer me anywhere, because I'm not dying. I'm not bad enough to go to somewhere else. And I'm getting to the point myself where I'm very frustrated, because, it's just hard work. It's really hard work.
I think that's the frustrating thing, isn't it? Because it's this idea that they're going to give advice, but only in their little ream. And then if you don't fit in their box of what they want to give advice for, they discount it straight away. I mean, if they're saying to you about, menopause and HRT, they should be inviting you in to have tests to see if it is. Yeah, exactly. But they're not.
Can I just read Terry's thing, because obviously that's quite relevant to what we were talking about prior to the show. Because 21 watching, we have talked about this before, not today, we've talked about it before. We actually planned this show. We've got lots of stories. Lots of our clients have come to us about different things, especially with me being a holistic therapist. But Terry's wrote that she agrees with you, Polly. That's the first. Everyone agrees with you. No, but she said that a physical appointment is what is needed, not telephone appointment or e-consults, because I know they're frustrated. Oh, and she's said she's concerned about serious illness could be missed due to telephone consultations. And that's one of the things that I find really frustrating. Like I said, my team is acute medicine. So we sit under the ED, we take acute admissions. I'm a ward clerk, so I'm not doing anything medical with them, but I am hands-on. I do whatever is needed to help that team out. I work with some brilliant people, and it's literally an honour to work with them because I've experienced worse as a patient. But I watch people coming into our ward that should not be coming to our ward and should never have reached that state in the first place to have been admitted through ED. And I'm quite vocal about it. I'm not totally medically trained like they are. Yeah, I am. And I obviously do not have the same degrees as them, but I'm not stupid. I am, I've been a carer, a patient, a relative, and an employee. And it is obvious to anyone to see the backlog that's happening because people either were too scared to go to the GP originally, now can't get to the GP, doesn't want to make a fuss or take, so we're busy, phone back tomorrow scenario, and people are becoming unwell. And I'm seeing that on a first-hand basis at work.
Yeah.
So Terry, you are right. It's a bugbear of mine. It really is, because I truly believe that is where it starts. And although people blame loads of different sections of the NHS, I think if we don't get these GPs back running properly, we're never going to get out of this, because people can't keep arriving at ED seriously unwell. And I mean seriously unwell, where it's sometimes too late to do anything about it.
It's the contradictory as well, isn't it? Because Jane and I were talking about this briefly yesterday. But people, for example, that are on contraception and HRT, repeat prescriptions, before COVID happened, you had to go and have your blood test. You had to, before they even thought about giving you your repeat prescription. And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, you're being given the repeat prescriptions like month after month after month after month. Haven't had a checkup.
Yeah.
And that's serious lack of care, isn't it?
It's frustrating, and I told Sarah this yesterday. I have, obviously, as you both know, and a few other close friends that watch, I have some chronic long-term conditions. Considering I have them, I do not bother my GP, never have done, because I've always got something else going on anyway. But I have not had a physical checkup since prior to COVID. And I'm at to have bloods every 6 months to check one of my conditions. It has not been done. And when I questioned it, when I finally did speak to a GP about my sick note, I waited nearly 3 weeks for this sick note on an e-consult. How bad's that? And I spoke to a nurse, not a doctor. She told me that you will get checked now on your birthday. We will call you up on your birthday. So I said, really? Well, I've had 2 birthdays during COVID. No one's called me up. And these are conditions that have to be checked. And I was saying, so my mum hasn't had a stroke check. She had a stroke. She hasn't had a physical stroke check or blood test done or anything done in 2 years. So this is really, and if this is just in our little group, if this is just our little group of talking about it, what is going on out there? And I know, again, I think we talked about this yesterday. Kate May, if she's watching, she might be, if she's not busy today, she has been trying to set up a group nearby to her to talk about GP practices and how bad it is getting for all age groups to access. Because these consults are not. She's done
almost like a series of events on TikTok.
Yeah,
it's actually really quite interesting.
You've frozen a little. But it is frozen. It is. You've gone all frosty on us.
Oh, I'm not.
But
you're all right with me, Paul.
Yeah, maybe it's just me and Richard can't see her. But it is frustrating. And look at people. My mum's 80 this year. She doesn't even have the internet. How is she supposed to do an e-consult?
No. That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, so many people don't have the internet or don't have access to printers if they've got to print things off, or there's so much technology that's relied on now that many people don't have it. They really don't.
I'm just going to quickly skip back because it was Terry that asked that question. Can you see me all right now?
We can see half of your face.
You're kind of like.
Oh.
No, don't go that way. Wrong way.
Yeah, it's Richard. Richard can't see you.
Okay, I'm not touching anything.
Yeah, you're fine for me, Paul.
It's only me and Richard needs to see you.
Perhaps someone at home can say whether Polly's frozen or not.
No, if I am frozen.
Oh, okay. You are frozen, but
Completely
I
frozen.
I can see you. This is weird.
Okay.
While you're kicking her off, Sam's put up about how lucky we are.
Yeah,
the
we
NHS.
are. But that is what's so
And
frustrating,
she's
isn't
had,
it?
yeah,
You
and
don't
she's
want to
had
lose
good
it.
experience.
I mean,
So-
it's this issue that people are having to go private, like Sam's mentioned about she's had to go private, and it's same things happened to my mum. My mum's had a shaking arm. Now, she's had all the tests and the neurology, you know, Parkinson's, and all the really massively worrying things that it could be, because she's, you know, she's 78, but it's all come back negative. But the doctor basically said, well, we can't find anything wrong. You know, there's nothing wrong. She said, but I can't keep being expected to live. And this tremor in her arm is getting worse and worse and worse. So she went to a GP, I think it was last week, and he actually was so patronising and said to her, you know, about well, it's that she said, well, when it gets cold, for example, it gets even more, it gets worse, you know, and he was saying that's called shivering. And it was so insulting and patronising to, you know, I don't know, bless her, how she walked out there without, quite frankly, punching him in the face.
Yeah.
But sorry, Jane, but she's now gone to have physio privately. It's costing her 50 quid a time. And the physio said straight away, right, I think, she said, your shoulder and your neck is so stiff. She said, I'm going to work on that. And then we should see that tremor, that nerve that's obviously being caught somewhere in that arm. It should relieve it. And already she's seeing a difference. Now she's having to pay to get that.
I know,
Why isn't
and
the
that's what's
doctor
frustrating
recommending
everyone.
it?
People can't afford to pay, especially now, especially with the fuel crisis, the food crisis. People are not in a position to pay for their health.
And like we were saying, we do pay for the NHS via our contributions.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't have to either. It's that injustice, isn't it?
So
It
apologies
really rolls
to our USA watchers and anybody that's paying. Although you are paying for medical treatment, I know this because I've got friends that live out in Florida, and I know that they pay for that. We do pay. We just pay a lot smaller amount than you would probably pay for a plan. So although we've always called it free, and it's been since when was it born, Richard? 1940 something, wasn't it? It was, yeah, something like that. We have always, as Sam said, and Bernice said as well, we have been grateful of it. We truly have. And we don't want to sit here and slate it, because I might return. Back after sick and have a sack.
And
You
everyone
just
that
wanna
works
know
for it
what's
works
going on.
so hard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they absolutely
So
do.
hard.
Just going quickly back to Terry, I pulled her a card originally before I froze. I'm guessing I'm back in one piece now. Can you see me all now? Thank goodness.
Richard, can I just say the comments are huge now, and I can only see part of them because they're so big.
Oh no, they're just right for me.
They are.
Just me then.
Right. So I pulled a card for Terry. So, guys, I don't know if you would want to do one each today, but I'd 4 of wands, Terry. Now, is there an interview coming up, or have you just had an interview? Because I do feel here that there's going to be something quite good coming up for you, Terry. This is saying not to overthink something as well, because I pulled the moon out with that as well. Okay, don't overthink things, all right? When there's good news coming. There could also be a talk of a wedding coming up as well, like somebody around you, either family member or a friend. Okay. But there's definitely like an invitation. There's definitely something like some sort of interview, something coming up for you. And I want to say go for it. Don't overthink it. Just think, you know what? Yeah, I can do it. Be confident. I feel that it's celebrations as well. So you've either passed something or passed some exams or passed a course there as well. But this is leading on to new things and telling you to just go outside your comfort zone. The support will be there for you as well there. So just know it. That's all I need to say.
Lovely.
I've just read Sarah Booston. She says, sorry, the dog's going to have a moment now. I have to say that I was with a friend's mum who had a fall for 15 hours while waiting for an ambulance and in the hospital. But I have to say that even though they were so extremely busy. All their staff involved were amazing. Sorry, Richard, but that is for me too small now, and I'm struggling with that. Yeah. And I get that, Sarah, and that's what I'm saying. I go to work, I watch those ambulances queuing up. It could be any time of the day. There is no particular time. It could be empty when I get there. It could be literally queuing out the gangway bit when I leave. I'm not knocking the staff, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking the staff. You have no idea until you. I see so many people with their. I'm going to say it so we don't get thrown off. I hope not. Their conspiracy theories and everything else that's going on, and they're always slating something. And again, I've had bad treatment myself, but until you work there, you do not see the immense stress and pressure they are under. How much, I mean, they're committed carers. They took that job to care for people. They are trying their absolute best to do things, but they are up against so many different things that are preventing them doing it. And to be sat in an ambulance, waiting for an ambulance for 15 hours is bad enough. But believe you me, they are also sat in them for 15 hours waiting for a bed to become free.
I know.
So it is. So I'm not, and the paramedics, I'm not going to knock them, even though my paramedics left me and said that I didn't warrant a hospital when they came for me, and told me to get in my own car and picked me up when I had seriously damaged my leg. So they do get it wrong, but they were pleasant about it at the time.
But
Sarah, you are right. No, they said it was just a ligament damage. The fact the leg nearly got cut off several days later, I think they were definitely wrong. But anyway, we won't hold it against them. They were pleasant about it.
Kirsty, hello.
Hello, lovely Kirsty.
Terry, well done for passing your counselling, because I've just
seen... brilliant.
She did. I'm going back to Sarah, who said that about the ambulances, because we don't want to be doing readings for everyone, do we? We want to do it individually. I think this is going to get a bit. I pulled caregiver for her, which is quite ironic, because you said you waited with a friend's mum. It wasn't your own mum, it was a friend's mum, which shows you have a very kind, loving heart, because I don't think it would matter if that had been a complete stranger. You would have done that for somebody, because it's the way that's cards reading to me, it's making me feel that you have a very passionate, caring role. Something's telling me you already do some kind of care work. You are. It's weird because I keep getting a dog walking across in front of me. So Polly, you're the animal communicator, not me, but I've just had a dog walk across in front of me. I feel like you've got a dog in spirit, or there's a dog around you that may be a little bit unwell. But this card is telling me you are on the right path for whatever you're doing, but I feel that I want to just move you slightly to get more out of your caring side. I want to say healing hands, but we all say that and it sounds a bit corny. We do all say it though, don't we? Healing hands, healing hands. But you definitely have got something within you that takes you onto that spiritual path. So I want to say to you, bear that in mind if you haven't done it already. I don't know what this dog is. Polly, are you picking out? It's like a black dog and it's trotting across.
Oh, no, I was picking up a black sort of terrier. But
there they go, black dog, and it's trotting in front of me. And you are the animal communicator, not me.
Well, I was picking up like a Scotty dog. So
it's black and it's, it's just trotting, very friendly past me.
If it isn't,
but I want to say,
then
if it's not for you, Sarah, it may be someone around you, but I do feel it is Sarah. It's someone around Sarah. So I've got to throw that in.
Kelly McKeating. I love the NHS, brilliant hospitals. GPs practice bad, can't even get an appointment. No, I get you, Kelly. It is a bit of hit and miss, I've got to say.
The thing is, it's like dominoes, isn't it? It's like dominoes. If you don't get that first initial bit right and you knock it down, i.e. the GP practice, everything else starts going with it. Someone needs to stop that first domino going down. There's one for you, Polly.
Flipping domino.
Helen.
Ansel. Yes, menopause has a lot to answer for, and doctors haven't got an interest, as I've just found out. I think there's a lot that goes on with the menopause that perhaps we didn't know a long time ago. You know, our parents just had to suck it up and get on with it, didn't they? You know, and the poor husbands probably got it in the neck. But they said it's quite interesting. I read something a while back, and it was saying that actually a lot of people, God, I can't even remember what dates, so somebody on here might know, but like back in the day, a lot of women got put in, like, sectioned and put into mental institutions, and actually it was more than likely that there was an effect of the menopause rather than actually being psychotic.
And postnatal depression, and that was only going back to the 60s. And bearing in mind, I was born in the 60s, that is quite scary to think that isn't that. So that it wasn't that long ago, but I am.
It's not that long ago, though, is it? It's really not.
It's not really, but it is scary to think that if you had any kind of adult with learning disabilities, if you had anything that when you were born, you were put into a place like that. If you had postnatal depression, you were put into a place like that. If you were a woman with menopausal problems, you were put in, it's like, oh, it must be something wrong with their mind. No, it's not. There's stuff going on. So
with
Sarah did comment, Sarah did comment back there, Polly. She said that her auntie had a black Scotty dog. She had a husky, and she was a healer, and she needs to get back into it. So there you go.
Oh, bless.
Oh, gorgeous.
So,
Can I just say, Kelly McKeating, I think Richard, can you get Kelly's comment back up? I think it was Kelly McKeating. I think I've got a surname right, but it was Kelly that made the comment. And I pulled a card for her, and your card is culmination of vision, Kelly. And I was told straight away, like, new horizons for you. So the feeling I've got, thank you, Richard. It is McKeating. It's like this feeling of you've definitely got these new horizons, but your intentions are becoming clearer, and you've really got to focus on what it is you want to have coming for you, because having those clear intentions is really, really important, because that's the card I pulled for you. And as I say, it was and Archangel Gabriel is also around you as well, so make sure that you're tuning in and asking her to come in. Okay, Archangel Gabriel, so ask her. I say her because I see her as a female entity. Some people see Gabriel as a male, and however you see the angels is perfect for you. So Kelly, that's your card, culmination of vision. Really, really forward. It's like this transformation and having something new on the horizon for you, Kelly. But having those clear intentions of what you want to achieve.
Absolutely.
We did have something come up from Tracy Dolphin as well, Richard.
Oh, what's that from Sam? We are living. But things sometimes lock me up.
Me and Polly in unison.
See, all I've got is we are living in a better.
We are living in a better time, but think sometimes could look up me and Polly.
Can't read it all.
Oh,
behave yourself, Sam. Go on, off with you, Sam. Off with
Samantha,
you.
I'm completely safe.
Yeah,
well, that's got even bigger now.
Tracy Dolphin, Richard. She said she got seen in 2 weeks. There she is. I got seen within 2 weeks of speaking to my doctor. And the nurses and consultants were so lovely and caring and kind, but not seen my doctor since before COVID.
See, this is the every surgery seems to be so different. It seems to be like a lottery, doesn't it? Where you live and how they operate. And
I disagree, because I ring a lot. No, they are. Sorry, and I'm to any of my friends that work in GP practice. It's
just only because it's like where I haven't had to contact my GP, luckily, other than for repeat prescriptions. But as I say, they just seem to be giving them off willy-nilly, which to me is a problem. But other people that haven't been able to get a doctor's appointment, like lovely Kate May, has had so much trouble, and now she's changed her GP and she's got no problem whatsoever. So it's like, why is it that one GP can be so different to another? How can that be?
I think it's.
Is it not regulated?
It's not. All GPs in our area, all GPs in our area sit under St Mary's Hospital. They sit under Solent and NHS. So they are all under the same doctors, unless they are a private practice. So on the whole, they are all following sort of similar procedures and practices. So that's why so many people are frustrated and not getting it. I have to ring many GPs for unfortunately to let them know of someone passing. I suffer the same problems trying to get through as an employee to inform them of their patient as a patient does to obviously get an appointment. Some people are lucky. They have there are a few practices that are still running to the best of their ability. But the actual background problem is there is not enough doctors now in those GPs to cope with the patients. That's what it is. So it's not,
Okay.
it's the lack of GPs in the surgeries. That's why there's such a problem.
Okay.
So it's becoming a big thing, and I think it is becoming more national as well. It's not just our area; it's becoming a national thing. So
is that
they may have? Sorry, yeah.
So I was going to say, is that
Maybe-
because GPs are leaving, or is that because they're getting rid of them?
No, I
What?
think GPs are leaving, and I think less people are training to become a GP.
Yeah.
So that's just what I pick up working, and you know, and actually friends of mine that work in surgeries that tell me what's going on behind the scenes. So yeah. But Tracy, I've just picked you a card. Tracy is my friend, and I'm going to own up to that. But she is very, very poorly at the moment because of what she's just had done. So she's not feeling great today. So lots of love to you. And I've got Animal Kingdom for you. And I know you were so upset you didn't get to see Polly do her animal communication talk the other week. But I have just got your lovely little doggy come in as well. I think I've turned into you, Polly.
You
I
have.
have brought in Tracy. Yeah, I have. So lovely little Alfie's just come in, Tracy. And I want to say to you, he is laying the other side of you to your other little doggy. So he is with you, keeping you company, because I know how much you miss him. And I've just got that. I'm always picking up Alfie for her, though. I haven't got to train that
that's
now.
so lovely. Can I just ask, who is that
sorry.
lovely person? Sorry, Polly, that comment. All I can see, I think it says agree, Sarah, because I can't see the first bit. I can see the last two E's of, I think, agree, and then I can see Sarah, my GP, are.
I agree, Sarah.
So I can see the last part of it. No, other way, Richard, other way. That's fab. Thank you. No, I can't see the end, but I can see the name at least. So Ashley, yeah, fabulous. Thank you. Yeah, I just can't see the whole comment. That's all. Thank you. But I know if you change mine, then Jane can't see it, can she?
That's only because we're old. I'm old.
Stop
Because
yourself.
I'm old and I can't see with my glass on. But Rich don't care, so it don't matter about me. Don't you worry.
Oh,
Don't forget, I'm telepathic. I can pretend. I can make out what it says.
Should just make up a comment.
I'll just make the comment up.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I make comments up. No, I don't really. I don't. Have we got any other interesting questions, Mr. P? Because we could. I'll tell you this. We knew this one would get.
Ashley, I'm just going to pull Ashley a card because I'm being drawn. Archangel Michael wants to come forward for you, Ashley. So I'm just trying to tune in, see whether he is there for protection. It feels like protection for you in some way. I'm just going to pull you a card quick. What's that one? Okay. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous card, Ashley. You've got the Chariot, which is forward motion, and it's all about the good and the bad in life, the yin and the yang, okay, and going hand in hand, but forward movement for you. It's Metatron, and he's an awesome angel that's coming forward. But it's determination and self-control, career advancement, acknowledgement of success by others. But with you, it feels like you self-doubt. You're doubting yourself. You've got some self-doubt about something, which would make sense why Archangel Michael came forward as well, to give you that protection, okay, to help you to have that strength to go forward. But yeah, definitely keep going is the feeling and energies I'm getting for you, Ashley. I hope that helps you in some way for the situation that you've got at the moment. Might be about what you were talking about as well. Could well be. Keep going. Don't give up. Get that appointment.
Oh, bless. Right, Tony Wright. A few years ago, my cousin went to the GP about 9 times with a lump. They told her it was nothing. She finally went to hospital. The lump was cancer. She passed at 34. Oh, my goodness, that's horrible.
And this is the trouble, isn't it? People don't actually, if they don't see someone, they don't talk about, because I am the worst person at like talking about ailments of myself. I'm of like that. I've always been told, you don't moan, you just get on with it, you dig deep. And if I go to the GP, it's usually I have to be really in need for going there. And a lot of people are the same. So those people that are like that, and unless you have that conversation with someone, a GP, and they say something, and then you say, well, actually, yeah, I have been having a few headaches. You might not mention that if you haven't had that conversation with them. Things come out. I think Terry Louise, that's what she was saying, wasn't it, earlier? Things come out, and this is what happens. It's all.
But I mean that is terrible. That actually made me feel I got quite emotional then. That is terrible. She needed physical examination. She shouldn't have been fobbed off. No woman should ever be fobbed off when it becomes same as a man shouldn't. If it's below any area of that, we all know it's plugged on telly. It's constant about having your smears, doing your breast checks, doing your prostate checks. It is constantly plugged to us to check ourselves out, check out bowel cancer. Don't be embarrassed. What is the point if you can't get to see someone that can give you that little, say yes or no and move you forward to the next stage? So it's like you're seeing stuff, told to do things, but you're not getting anywhere. 34, I mean, that is a year older than my eldest child. That is literally...
It's so sad.
There's no excuse for that.
Tony, does the name Michelle make any sense around this person? So it might not be their name, but I just keep hearing the name Michelle or something like that around her. And do you know if the lump was around the right hand side? Okay, because I keep being shown the right hand side on the chest. And is there a daughter with her? Otherwise, I'm picking up on somebody else. That's the only thing. That's the only reason I'm asking. I don't like to ask. It's just one of those things that I'm just making sure I've got the right track there. But the name Michelle seems to keep coming up, or Shell or Shelley or something like that. And the lady that's coming through here, she's a really nice person. She's like real life and soul, but she's quite one of those people that she's life and soul 1 minute and then she's sort of a bit of a recluse the next. I hope this makes sense, Tony. But she's coming in for this lady's coming in. Do check out the name, please, around her. It could be a friend or it could be a relative, it could be anybody, but just know that name there. And the name Sue as well comes in around there as well. And she keeps talking about, just a little message for you, Tony. There's some sort of relationship. Now, a relationship can mean a love relationship, it could mean a friend relationship, it could mean any relationship. But it's like somebody around you at the moment, Tony, that needs you need to say, look, enough's enough, okay? Because somebody's either a bit on your case, somebody is emotionally messing you with your head a little bit there, Tony. And I want to say that rather than just keep going round in circles, make sure that you get the strength, because there's definitely something around you at the moment, she's telling me, and you've got to sort of put a lid on it. You've got to stop it. You've got to stop being taken for granted, she's telling me, okay? Please do understand that message, because she's saying that when you do, you're going to feel like the dove's coming out, literally the peace, even though something's going to be sort of, it's quite hard, isn't it, sometimes when we're stuck in a bit of a rut or a cycle. But by actually standing up for yourself in a situation, if it doesn't make sense now, it will. Just make sure that you look after you and don't be over compromising. That's what her message is to you, this lady.
I got shell, Polly. I got shell. I got told shell, and I got green. I feel like they had some kind of celebration. The green was very prominent. The colour green was something to do with it. There was a family thing coming up as well.
When you were talking, Polly, as well, I was really feeling it in my throat chakra. So you need to speak up, Tony. Speak what's true for you. And speak your truth, because it's really going to affect you if you don't speak your truth. Okay, get it out there.
Tony, please do give us any feedback. If you don't know some of the information, please do check it out. Okay.
So who else have we got, Mr. P?
Next. Polly, as an animal reader, can you tell me why my little dog keeps licking the air?
They know what I thought that said.
Do we want to know, Jane?
Because I can't see it, I'm not going to tell you what I thought that said.
Often, Kim, they do it as a stress reaction. Now, I'm not saying that your dog's living in a stressful environment, but some dogs are definitely more stressed. Well, it's like people. You get people with anxiety, and they've got no reason to necessarily be anxious. It's just how they're made up. You've got all sorts of reasons. It could be changes in the home, changes of people in the home. But what often happens with an animal is when they are like licking the air, it's almost like a stress reaction.
Yeah, so I was told that by a vet for my dog, Polly, that when they lick, it's a sign of stress.
Yeah, if they're licking people as well. I mean, sometimes they just do it because, I mean, if you've met my dog will just lick your face off because he's like, hello. But when they lick in the air, it is often because it's a stress reaction. So I would say, what has changed in the home? Okay, what has changed without seeing the picture of your dog? I tend to work with pictures of dogs. Look and see what's changed. Has a situation changed? Has it been quite stressful in the home for whatever reason? There's enough stress going on in the world at the moment, but anything can trigger stress. It could be that dog's not getting out enough sometimes and needs a little bit of a change of scene. You might have brought another pet into the home. I just want to say, just make sure you sort of check out when it started doing it more, and what has changed in that sort of environment. Now, Chihuahuas are renowned for being a nervous wreck. All right. They are renowned for it. They are little dogs. They're very clingy dogs. They're very clingy to one particular person, normally Chihuahuas as well. And I don't know how to spell Chihuahua either, but I get you. They're very renowned for being nervous. They're small. Everything's like massive to them. They're very, like I said, very clingy to like an individual person often, and they'll be like a parrot. A parrot will be, for example, very clingy, or very territorial over a single person. So has there been some changes? Has there been some changes with you or your situation, your work situation, etc.? I would suggest that there's some really good calming tablets that you can buy. I don't suggest that you give them to them all the time, but if you do feel like they're like treats, like NutriCalm, I think they're called. They're very good. Or there's those like the dog version of Fellaway, which I'll plug in sort of things with essential oils in that, especially for dogs. Sensing the change. So also re-licking the air, sensing the change, not perhaps a stress, a difference, maybe not stress, just a change. It can, any small change can stress an animal out. Any small change. I'm not saying you're making your dog stressed. I'm just saying that any small change or changes can stress an animal out.
Can I ask a question, Polly, on that?
You can. Do you want to do the card first and then?
Sorry, Jane. Just very. It's only very, very quick. I was drawn to my that one, the out focus there.
That's it.
Okay. The unicorn cards is what I was drawn to for you. And for your. Sorry, I've forgotten the name of the person. It was the Chihuahua person. Because I could see Samantha's comment. Who was it? Kim, thank you. So Kim, I was just sensing that you've got loads going on for you at the moment, and the card is support, ask for help, get some more rest, nurture yourself, but it was asking for help. And it was like you're a really strong person, and it feels like you're really used to doing things on your own, but actually you've got so much going on that the angels are encouraging you to just put some feelers out there as to some support that you can get for. So it might well be that what Polly's talking about, if there is some sort of like changes for you, that the dog is picking up on that. I don't know, but it could be. So just please let me know if that resonates for you.
Kim, I've just tuned in a little bit more. The dog is telling me that since a passing, okay, now I do feel like this should be a gentleman passing, somebody close to you. Okay, now I wanted to say either a partner or a husband, but I might be completely wrong. Or it could be a partner or a husband of some member of a family, but it's just somebody coming in that would have actually had quite a quick deterioration around their health. And this little dog keeps showing me that basically your dog has almost been like your saviour, Kim. I'm going to be honest with you. It's almost like this little dog, as tiny as it is, this little Chihuahua, has been like your rock. All right. And you are very emotionally attached to each other. And I keep seeing the dog tucked into your bed and laying on a pillow. Please tell me if that's right, because I keep seeing it. Almost like I'm tucking it in and there's his little head popping out the top of the duvet. I keep seeing that. Please do let us know, Kim. But it's been like since then. And the dog is also sensing this gentleman around. All right. Now I'm seeing a gentleman in the background, but he's not telling me who he is and what his message is at the moment. But please do know that your dog is seeing them. All right. And the dog is and this isn't why the dog's stressed, by the way. The dog's worrying about you. All right. And that's what's important to know. You worry about your little dog and your dog's worrying about you just as much. All right. Maybe if you do healing, Kim, maybe just give the dog a little bit of constant healing, or just putting your hand on the dog and just sending love to the dog. That's all you need to do. All right. sorry, what was you going to
it was
say?
only reference Samantha saying about it could just be change in the air and they're doing that. I mean, I have a dog that's got anxiety, so I know that licking, I mean, he doesn't actually lick himself a lot like some dogs do, but their anxiety can do things. But could they, and this is just out of, I'm curious, could they be licking the air, not from a change, but they can sense maybe atmospheric change, weather change? You know, everyone talks about different things going on. Are they picking that up? Could that be another reason they're doing it? That's out of curiosity for me.
They can pick up a lot of things. I mean, it might be that they can smell something in the air, but they tend to lick more if they are a little bit anxious. It's like I've got 2 dogs. One's like on the spectrum without a doubt, and the other one is like a potato.
Mine definitely is.
And it's no disrespect to anybody that is on the spectrum, but without a doubt, my dog is. And she's like, she knows everything. She knows what time, if like breakfast isn't at a certain time, or our first walk isn't at a certain time, or she knows exactly what time my other half's going to get home from work. She's looking out the window waiting for him. You could tell the time by the dog.
No,
but the other one is like, unless you're hanging a bit of steak in front of him, he's not got a clue what's going on in life. You know, it's just so different. And the dogs are like people. They're all just very different. And some are really sort of receptive to things. Some don't handle changes very well. Some are naturally stressy. You know, it's just all different. Dogs are just so different. And
can you read out Heidi's comment for me, because I can read half of it and I can't see the other bit.
So lovely Heidi. She hasn't been very well either, so send her lots of love. She went to the GP with chest pains and was told it was mental health. Bit random. Turned out not to be. Had a stent fitted last week. Never let them fob you off. So
yeah. Sorry, can I make a comment? Because Jane, I know you know about this, but there's a very, very similar thing. Like, and this is what we were saying about how when you actually go for things, other things are then detected. So my dad went to have his cataracts sorted out on both eyes. And cut a very long story short, it turns out he had a completely low heart rate. His heart wasn't working. He had a valve in his heart that wasn't working properly, and he's now since had a pacemaker fitted. And that was because he went to have his cataracts sorted out. So this is the trouble of people being fobbed off. Like Heidi said, if you're fobbed off, don't allow them to fob you off. Just if you know something's right, go with your gut. I mean, we talk about this as psychics all the time, don't we? How important it is to go with your gut feeling.
To tell someone who's got chest pains, it's basically Heidi won't mind me saying because we know each other, but to say it's mental health, so they're basically saying she's got anxiety or she's stressing herself out over something and causing the chest pains, and for her to then go on and have a form of heart surgery, that is just not acceptable. Shouldn't assess. I mean, I obviously, one of my conditions is fibromyalgia. I was told it was all in my head. Well, it must have been, because I'd never heard of fibromyalgia or what it was until I was told that's probably what I've got.
It's quite common.
And it's very common and becoming common in men and in young people. But it shouldn't be automatically assumed that ailments we get is mental health. That is wrong as well. We're not, we're going to end up all with mental health problems. We don't get some out of our health assessments.
What I'd like to know, though, that if Heidi obviously was told it was mental health, did she get some advice? Did she get some direction? Did she get some further, if they did think it was mental health, did she get redirected? I bet she didn't.
No, can't fault the QA though, Jane. They were amazing.
No, and Heidi, that's what I said. I work, that QA, to anyone that's watching, is our local accident and emergency hospital, so our main hospital for surgery, and it actually only has just over 1,000 beds, and it services 3 different
huge area, isn't it?
It goes up to Basingstoke and it goes up to Bognor, which is quite a huge area here in England. So anyone overseas, that is a big area for such a small amount of beds. Heidi, I can't, like I said, I work there. I've seen amazing stuff. I've just not had great stuff in the last 2 years, but I have had in the past good surgeries with them and good, so I can't fault them, because I'm seeing so much of what's making it start to fail, because people are so tired, so overstretched. And I'm glad that you had brilliant surgery, But again, I also know there are certain areas that have top notch because they are prioritised, and that's not good either. And heart is one of them. So
I was just picking up for. Sorry, just very quickly, and I'll let one of you guys do a card because I won't seem to shut up today. I'm like a bit ADHD. I'm going to be honest. I'm like blah 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 blah. blah.
Oh, we love you, Polly.
I've got your mum through, Heidi. She just turned, tell her. I don't know what I'm going to tell you yet. Right, okay. Right, your mum's come through, Heidi, and she's saying to me, it's all not plain sailing. It's all like she's saying about keeping on top of something, right? So it might be that there's some checkups or something that you need to do, not to brush things under the carpet, for example, around health. So if there's like a checkup that needs doing or something keeps being not ignored, it's almost like either cancelled or rearranged or something like that, just demand that you get seen, even if it's the smallest little thing, all right, because she keeps telling me for you to be on the case on something, all right, so be on the case. She's also telling me to she keeps talking about forgiveness there, so it feels like there's been a situation, there's something going on around you where you've perhaps had to move away from people, but at the same time it's sort of just like looking at a whole big picture rather than a little bit of the picture. Okay, so it's like it's just look, move back, forget, forgive, whatever's gone on. It could be, again, family members, it could be anything, friends, it could be anything. But she's just saying sometimes she just needs you to calm down. All right, there's new experiences coming up with you as well. So this is new opportunities, new experiences coming up with you she's talking about. Now this could be around either project work or spiritual stuff, but she's talking about going for it. Okay, going for it. And she keeps buying the equipment as well, buying equipment. Are you going to buy some equipment for ghost hunts? I keep seeing K2 meter and stuff like that.
I think Heidi does do that, actually. I think she has got equipment for that.
Yeah, because she keeps showing me random things, like random things. And I'm like just giving you random things. So please, I hope that made some sense.
And she's just admitted that she's not very good at going to the doctors. Well, she will be now, won't you, Heidi?
Yeah, do you know what? When you was talking, Polly, I was getting real shaky hands. It was like real shakes, real nervousness, real anxiousness about it all. So yeah, just Heidi, deep breaths, darling. Just do what you need to do.
Just before we answer Bernice Frederick, Sam O'Neill put one up and asked us. I don't know if she's trying to catch us out.
I couldn't see it.
She just said, would any of us try holistic treatments first before going to the doctors? Obviously, Sam, you know that me and Sarah both work holistically, and so does actually Polly. Polly is also a healer, and used to do something else, didn't you, Polly? What was it? I can't remember.
I do all sorts of lovely things.
Yeah. But yeah, of course we do. I mean, one of the reasons I trained to be a holistic therapist was because my diagnosis and treatment of my fibromyalgia, I was sent to a psychotherapist to talk about my mental health. That was my first initial appointment after being diagnosed. So I chose, and then given a load of opioids that sort of made me a little bit brain dead. So I chose to retrain, come away from the academic world and retrain as a holistic therapist to work out how I could help myself. And I know Sarah's, again, come away from academia, and she's also trained in holistic stuff. It is a way of helping yourself first and foremost, but I would never tell anyone not to seek medical advice. And that is something I'm still very, I do my psychic counselling. I've also got a diploma in nutrition and naturopathy, but I would never tell anyone not to go and seek medical advice. It is something to help you as well as conventional medicine. So we're not saying never go to a GP, never go to a hospital. That isn't what today's about. But yes, there are holistic alternatives to help and work alongside.
What would be lovely is if the GPs, etc., would embrace, working side by side.
Yeah, more people are turning that way. There is actually a holistic therapist that works in QA. She's set up in the Oasis Centre. And so that alternative is there. We know that the Rowans, again, 21 watching overseas, that is our hospice, one of our local hospices. They work with alternative medicine. It is bit by bit being recognised. But again, it's not enough, unfortunately, but it's not an answer. I would never tell anyone to just look at holistic treatment and not have anything else.
Oh, no.
That isn't there. That is not what we put
on Facebook before that anybody, any healer that tells you not to go down a conventional route is well, I just would say
Bonkers.
just don't go there, right? I always say get the fundamental things checked out. So I would say to them, you must go to your doctor, even if it's just ruling out a few things, ruling out the worst case scenario. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Because at least then they know it isn't the worst case scenario. And if they don't get fixed for whatever reason within the conventional, then obviously try both at the same time. Try healing and the conventional. Because where one doesn't work maybe for them, another might. It might just be that energy healing or that kinesiologist or that whatever it is actually one of the best things you ever did.
Yeah.
So
Totally agree, Polly.
yeah, I definitely agree, and yeah, we know people do it, but it's not something we would recommend. Bernice, she says her husband went blind in his right eye as COVID started, and she was in another country when that happened during lockdown, and the healthcare and the hospitals were crazy with COVID. Is there a bit more to that, Richard, or no, there's no more to that? So was that something that happened to him, Bernice, that was nothing to do with COVID? He hadn't caught COVID. It wasn't anything, because that's what I'm feeling. It was something that had happened to him anyway. When you say the hospitals were crazy, they were crazy. Everyone panicked. Everyone went into panic mode, I think, and started walking around in funny, like, space uniforms, I think, in the hospitals. So it would have been a horrendous time. Some doctors have no compassion towards the elderly. I think that's an extra bit, Richard, actually. Funny enough, I picked you 301s because obviously I was waiting for that when we were talking about Sam's, and I got overseas with you straight away and thought, what's she doing overseas? But now back here, is that what I felt? But I do feel that his eye condition was not related to COVID. It was something else, and obviously timing was not great for you, not being in a familiar place. That said, did you get the right treatment? Because I'm feeling that someone did give him some treatment, and actually probably, I shouldn't say this, but I feel that treatment was actually better than where you would have been if you'd been back home. So that's the feeling I'm getting, that he was actually, no, nothing to do with COVID. I didn't feel it was COVID related. I feel that his treatment, though, was actually quite excellent once you got there. But I can imagine how scary that would have been, seeing how the hospitals work across the world, because we were seeing it on media and we knew it had gone crazy. So that was quite scary for anyone trying to get to be seen in a general appointment with a general condition that wasn't COVID related, because literally COVID took over. So much love to you, Bernice. I've also just got a cat around you. What is it with me, Polly? I know animals.
One day, Sarah, she wasn't a medium, but now she is, right? And now.
Oh, and then one day, I wasn't. One day I was never going to trance, and now I trance.
And she was blimmin' brilliant, I hear.
Yeah, and now I'm a cat. Yeah, I'm getting a cat around you, Bernice. I don't know. It's white and fluffy. Is it like the Persian type? I'm getting white and fluffy cat around you. It's not symbolic. It is a real cat, because sometimes I will get symbolic animals for a reason. But this is weird. And I'm also getting Australia. I don't know if you were in Australia or you should have been in Australia, but I'm getting I'm getting Australia around you. I'm seeing the country, the shape of it. I'm getting Australia around you, so I don't know what that's all about.
Australian Persian cat.
Australia. I'm getting Australian Persian cat. But yeah, I don't know if that's where you should have been, but you were somewhere else actually. Let us know, Bernice. But I could see you were overseas and not somewhere you should have been, so it felt a bit out of sorts for you.
So, can you read this one, Sarah, or can you not see it?
I can read some of it, but I can only, I can't see all of it.
I'll read it. Who wants to answer it?
I'll read it.
You read it.
Oh, that's better. That's been a little bit more, Richard, the way you went. No, just a little tiny bit more.
Now
you can't see it at all, Jane. I can see my mum was a clinic clerk for a paediatrician. One of the patients who had an awful eczema had vastly improved after trying Chinese medicine. Fantastic. The specialist started referring some of her patients, and brilliant.
Oh, that's
love that.
Like that.
It is. And also, because like holistic treatments are quite often called, is it not complementary? That's the wrong word.
It is
Oh,
complementary therapy.
it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it's
like, 'cause
complementary
it
therapy.
helps. They're supposed to help, and it speeds up any kind of Reiki. Speeds up the healing process. It doesn't. Anyone that says it will heal completely,
They're talking out of their bottoms, aren't
But
they?
can I
but it
just
will
add,
vastly make a difference. It will speed things up massively.
that wasn't in this country though, was it, Sue? That wasn't in England. I'm not getting that's in England. I feel that was abroad. That was somewhere else that got that. And I
think
do.
it's here.
Yeah, I don't.
No. And
Especially
I do.
social-
I also feel we are very behind in that still in the UK.
I think it's one of those things that I think it's like we as, let's say, healers or holistic therapists are the first, especially as you guys I know and would trust, to say, yeah, go to the doctors, but yes, of course I'll work with you, but yes, go to the doctors, get that looked at, sorted out. It's not quite the same the other way round, is it? Unfortunately,
No, it's not.
You say, oh, yeah, this is brilliant, yeah, we're going to go down this road, we're going to do these tests, go and see a holistic therapist, because I think that would really help you. They don't, because we buy prescriptions. We buy prescriptions.
Oh yes, that's a whole other thing.
Whole
Though, about pharmaceuticals companies.
It was
in England. So I'm for some reason.
Oh.
She lives what? Well, I'm just getting not in this country for some reason around her. So she's not in this country.
Sue's not in this
Right,
country.
so Sue's not in this country, but that did happen in England. Okay, because I just got not in this country whispered in my ear, but Sue doesn't live in this country. That makes sense. That makes sense then. Okay. Oh, there we go. Australia. Get Australia again. Maybe that's what I was picking up on Sue. But yeah. What's that? The paediatrician insisted on regular blood tests, though. Yeah, but that's.
Sarah, are you pulling a card for Sue?
Yeah, if you've already done one though, Polly, you go ahead. But I will.
No, I haven't.
Card. Okay.
My hands are free.
Just seeing what.
Do that again.
Okay, not that one. Oh my goodness, can you believe this? The same card. That's just unreal. Oh, sorry. There we go. That one.
Closer to you, Sarah.
Oh, closer to me. There we go. It's combination of vision. It's the same one as I pulled before, which is just amazing. 45 cards, and it's the same one. So I'm just going to tune in, Sue. Okay, Sue, I've just been told you need to let go of some things. There's a few things that you need to let go of. Michael's come forward again, Archangel Michael, and he's the Archangel of autumn. And so in autumn, when the leaves fall, it's like literally leaving things behind you. So it's like letting something go that you're kind of holding on to that isn't doing you well. Okay, it's holding you back. So the culmination of vision is actually connected with your future, but there's something from your past, there's something that you're holding on to. So try to tune into that if you can, as to what it is, and to let go of it. Yeah, that's it. I'm afraid there's nothing more coming through at the moment. I don't know if any of the other ladies wanted to add anything.
I just asked Sue, this is a little bit random, has she got some sort of old-fashioned watch or clock? I can see the mechanisms are stuck. Someone needs to take it to get it looked at, but it's very old. Feels like it's an antique. Just got that. Don't know why, but I'm seeing the mechanism stuck. Someone needs to look at it. Could be a pocket watch or it's an old-fashioned type of antique. I got that for some reason.
Pardon?
What was that, Miss?
Are we allowed to say that out loud?
It's
Do you want to say that?
I didn't know if Richard actually put the mic. Did you say that on the live show, Richard? You didn't. Oh, sorry, people. Mr. P first. I thought he'd opened up the mic and spoke. Sorry, I apologise. Do you want to say that, Polly? Or
right? Okay. Well, correct me if I go off on the wrong tangent here. So start that one off.
Oh, sorry. Sue's just said she's awaiting her mum's gold watch. Thank you, Sue, because that was really driving me mad.
So just begin that again for me, Mr. P.
I can do it if you want.
Do we think?
Well, I can.
Okay. So do we think that doctors are signing us over to have, like, for example, when we go in, it might be we've got a little bit of anxiety, yet we're offered, for example, antidepressants, or we're menopausal and be given, basically they do give, a lot of doctors do give out sort of remedies, tablets, medicines willy-nilly, okay, almost in that sort of 5-minute pocket that we have of our little appointment. So do we think that because doctors or surgeries or, you know, further than that, have how do you explain it? Have
financial gain
so, from like the pharmaceutical companies, and obviously that would mean that things like obviously the surgeries would get funded, etc. So do you think, guys out there, that basically that doctors can be a bit pill happy for that reason, for, like, say, financial gain?
So can I just answer?
thought.
Well, yes.
I know that you are prescribed the cheapest medication first, and it is usually the one they're making the most profit on. But I don't believe GPs directly, or consultants or anyone else, have that. Maybe a consultant, I'll take that back. But they don't have that direct financial gain. It is the people in the suits that have that power to say. And I know that from years ago when I was working at the university, because obviously that's a more educational background, so you learn different things, that it is profitable for the NHS to give out cheaper medication. So that is just my opinion, and that's how that's what I was given the information years ago.
I know that because I've been told. I don't know because I've been told. Right. Well, I actually
because we're a bunch of psychics,
psychos. Yeah, that, for example, say the flu vaccine. Let's not go with the C word. The flu vaccine, right? I know that the more they are getting in and the more they're giving out, the more money goes to that surgery. Yeah.
Well, actually, as you said that, Terry's put her comment up. Well, she hasn't personally, I don't think, unless she's interacting. She's just said that she knows the surgeries benefit. You're right there, the vaccines. Certain surgeries are pinpointed to be vaccine centres. We won't go the C word, vaccine centres, and they profit from it, which is why they pushed for vaccines to be done, because they were profiting from it. Absolutely. And she is right. It is a business. It is no longer a health service.
It isn't.
But then so is education, and so is any other big thing now. Institutes have become businesses.
Well, yeah, but the sad thing is, all the really good doctors, etc., are leaving, like you said, as I came out of the teaching profession, because I didn't want to work in the environment of pressure that we were putting children under.
No.
So I came away from it. And it is like that. They're losing so many good people
in schools, because I remember my mum was a teacher and her mother was a teacher, and then we've got, my auntie who was working in nurseries and etc. There's a lot of childcare people in my family. Now I can remember when I was a kid, when I were a kid, right, and the curriculum was very, very different than it is now. You did not have SATs, and you did not, why would you make a year 2 have a SAT? What a ridiculous load of rubbish. And it is all for
don't get me on it, Polly.
Yeah. And then
it's for league tables, isn't it, Sarah? We know this.
Tables, it's funding, it's like, it's all about, and the thing is, there is so many amazing teachers, because I've worked in schools a long time. I worked in schools. Sarah's obviously worked in schools. I think you've worked in education, Jane,
and so's Richard.
And Richard, and we've been and I was doing like one-to-one with one-to-one care for, and helping obviously with certain children with disabilities, etc. But it is push all the time on these poor teachers who are brilliant, and they are exhausted. And you think about 6 weeks might be a long time for your child to be off school on holiday. I tell you, if those teachers didn't get 6 weeks off on holiday, I think they'd literally be frazzled, nothing left.
Oh, but they don't get 6 weeks off, Polly.
Time,
they don't get 6 weeks off. They actually, they still have to work, and that's what parents and people don't realise. Teachers still have to work in the holidays. There's things they have to prepare, new terms to prepare. There's lots of stuff there. So yeah, that's like Richard just said. That's a whole different subject you could go on to. But it does show that all institutes now, as sadly as it is, have turned into big businesses. They're only about targets, making money. They're not interested in the people, and that is a sad thing to say. But that is the people at the top. That's not the people that went into that profession because they cared.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just seen Keith's...
I'll be sacked on Monday. I don't care, people.
Keith's comment here about I'm on benefits and I've been removed from the dentist. I don't know if there's a word there, practice, and are only taking private. They're only taking private pay now.
Yeah.
That's another area of, my dentist. I haven't had my checkup for 2 years now because they cancelled it during COVID. Then they cancelled it again. And then the practice has been sold to a new practice, but we've been told that we've been taken on by the new practice, but I haven't been informed yet. So it's like, this is ridiculous. It's just, and then you go and you try and find a new NHS dentist, and well, you can't, can you? You can't find them.
But in answer to Keith's,
another topic.
In answer to Keith's question, though, it's still the NHS. Dentists is still the NHS. And Keith's right. I mean, I work at QA, at the NHS. I do my business, and I also get disability. And I'm quite happy to say I get a disability benefit because I am disabled now. But I have to now pay for my dentist. My dentist warned me all through the last 2 years that he had no choice. It was my choice to stay with him and pay for him, or try and find, which is going to be very hard, an NHS dentist. But realistically, I'm not in a position to pay a monthly fee now to have a dentist. But I'm also of an age where I can't afford not to have a dentist and have my regular checkups.
Yeah,
but it is frustrating.
Really hard, isn't it?
Again, I'll say to that, because obviously having colleagues in dentistry and working under the NHS, the reason they've gone private is because the NHS stifled them with the fees. They have to pay a certain amount of fees to see a certain amount of patients a year. That was undoable in those last 2 years. They couldn't do it. And the fees went up, and most dentists can't afford the fees. It is better for them to go out and be private and actually work their practices in their own way. So their hands were forced on that, Keith. That was something, it wasn't greed, it was forced. They were forced into that position. And I know a lot of people that have done it didn't do it lightly. They had no choice. But it's wrong because the only people suffering now is people like us. So, yeah, it is frustrating. Talking of that, Keith, I want to tell you to go to the dentist if you haven't already, because I am getting, and again, this is only my holistic side, I'm feeling some form of abscess around you. I'm getting an abscess or some kind of infection. And I want to go to the back on the left side.
Oh, I was going on the right side. That's weird.
Yeah. Well, that's weird because I went that way, but I did. Well, you know that you get pain on the opposite side to where it is, don't you? I'm getting. Yeah, you're mirroring it. I'm getting the pain on the left side. So, Polly, you could be right. The damage is on the right side. But Keith, go and get that looked at because I feel that's a warning as well. He said, so when is the NHS going to be free and caring?
Never.
That's not happening.
There is lots of, there is, like we said, so many good doctors, nurses, carers that work in that industry, dentists. There's so many good ones, and there's so many that wish that it was, well, at least back to what it was. I can only say probably 5 years ago was better than it is now. But it's just like, unfortunately, they're understretched, and there's been so many sicknesses and things and stress related issues with these people that are working there. Unfortunately, it's just, and then it's trying to get into the hospital in the first place. Unfortunately, is it going to improve? Not unless they fund it properly. No. And
I don't think it's going to. No, I don't think it's going to improve, and that's a sad thing to say. But also, we have to take some responsibility ourselves and acknowledge our part in it, because we now, as a race, do not always look after ourselves to the best of our ability, and a lot of our illnesses can be avoided. I'm not saying all of them, and I'm not, because I know myself. Right, I can take better care of myself, and I should. But a lot of things are brought on now by our lifestyles and the way we live our lives. So we do need to also take some responsibility. but it's like a big ball going round and round and round, and no one's like a roundabout, no one's getting off it, and it's just getting worse.
And
That's how
also,
it
like I
feels.
sort of touched on, right at the very beginning, it's the case of not going unless you really, really need to, and you think it is a made problem, because a lot of people do go sometimes, and it's for this and for that, and
Yeah.
and they're
ring
taking up
ambulances.
appointments that other people actually need. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
they ring ambulances for no reason. I mean, I have told my kids, well, the one that especially lives with me, if I'm ever having a heart attack, I haven't predicted that, people, but just in case, don't ring an ambulance. You can't do CPR. So I said, put me in my car. It's the only time he's allowed to drive it. Throw me in my car and take me straight to A&E. Do not ring an ambulance, because that wait is also quite long. It is a sad state of affairs, but there's so much that's just, like I said, it's just like a vicious circle going round and round and round. And it's just so hard for people to know when to go, not to go.
So it is time for some adverts, lovely people. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
MySpiritualDirectory.com is one of the fastest growing online free listing service. Our search directory offers geolocation feature, rating ability, review system, map location, customer comment, YouTube video, gallery, social media sharing, direct contact with the lister, simple online booking and payment system. It's free to register and use. It even creates your own mini web page, which you can update at any time, and yes, it's still free, no monthly or yearly fees. 100% free. Creates your own profile page. Add social media and other links. Add a mini gallery and a YouTube video. Rating, reviews and comments. Includes online booking and payments. So, if you're looking for a medium or a reader, even a church, maybe a healer, or any other spiritual service, then visit myspiritualdirectory.com.
My Spirit Life is a free online interactive magazine for those who have an interest in improving their spiritual lives. Authors can upload images, videos, and audio clips to their own articles. The public can place comments, rate the article, and follow the author. All articles are vetted before being published. For more information and to place your own article, please visit myspiritlife.co.uk. Tomorrow from 11 a.m, Alison and Dawn hosts their morning show with live readings, chat, special guests, and the latest news from sptv. Matt and Kirsty host their show tomorrow from 8 p.m. The show consists of answering your spiritual questions and offering free mediumship and oracle card readings.
Hello.
Okie dokie, welcome back. We were just having a quick chat, and we were just saying about how important it is, as Jane was saying before, about looking after ourselves, and also the knowledge about our chakras and how important it is that you understand your chakras and how it can have emotional, spiritual, but also physical ailments come out. The blockages you have in your body and all the different chakras are related to different parts of your body, and how every experience you have has a connection with your physical body. And over time, if you keep repeating certain things and having certain experiences come through for you, it's going to come out in your body. So I just wanted to know what everyone thought about that idea.
Well, I totally agree. I was about to say a story, but I won't because it's quite personal to somebody I know very well. So I'm
okay.
But absolutely. I mean, if we talk about the chakras, but there's also the four bodies. So you've got obviously the physical body, you've got your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body. Now, if any of these are obviously damaged it could be your upbringing, it could be your conditioning, it could be relationships you make later on. If you keep, like you said, repeating patterns, for example, if you keep going back to destructive relationships because one of your parents was very destructive, that emotionally, mentally, and everything else, it all starts to affect, which obviously goes and affects your chakras, it affects your physical body. And some people don't realise this, okay?
No.
continuous stress or continuous abuse of some variety, or continuous of being like the victim, for example, is got an extremely detrimental effect on your body. And that's where obviously things like what we do, the healing, for example, is amazing. It is amazing because it's acknowledging that, it's clearing that, and obviously we know that things can reattach, but only if you let them.
Yeah, and it's
Definitely.
amazing how much of your subconscious, which is all formed through your experiences, and those patterns that keep happening then affect your subconscious, which then affects your conscious decisions, and you keep those patterns repeating. It happens again and again, and you go to the same types of people, or you go to the same sorts of environments or situations, and you place yourself in those because they're familiar to you. And it's amazing how it all works. And it's fascinating.
It is fascinating. And as I always say to people, it is science. It is scientifically proved that they are there in our bodies. So whether people want to go, oh, that's rubbish or that doesn't work, they are there, and they have been proved that they do connect to our physical and our emotional and our mental states. So we do need to pay more attention to them.
We've got over 400 odd chakra points in our body. So because we talk about the main 7 ones, it's over 400, and that's just like, it's when an energy point basically everyone crosses, that's what causes a chakra point, and we've got them all over us, over us.
And can I just
go on?
Sorry.
We all want to talk.
I only wanted to say, Mr. P put it up just now, that Keith did say he had 2 abscesses, front and back, Polly.
Oh.
So, but he hasn't said whether it's left and right. But he says he hasn't been a dentist in years. So I'm going to tell you again, Keith, I am telling you, it's a warning. Get to the dentist. Abscesses are poison. They are dangerous. Please, 8. Is that 8?
There we go. Well done, Jane.
8 months. Please go to the dentist, Keith. I got it as a warning. You need to go. Don't overlook that. Even if you've got to pay him, please go. You need to do that because that was a definite for you. And there was somebody else that answered something. I can't remember who it was because I was trying to remember it while you were talking. Wasn't Ashley. You can tell.
Ashley,
tell
connect with me. I can teach you all about the chakras.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can tell their energy. But also, do you know
100%.
what I do? I do it in my workshops. I don't do it as one of my things that I offer as a service, but I do it in workshops. I teach my students just to play around with dowser in one of their lessons, and I get them to see what chakras, the main 7, are blocked, and I get them to unblock it while they're with me. So I do teach them that. So that's just a little light touch on it. Yeah,
it's good. You know, it's like if I do animal communication or healing, I will be telling the person what I'm picking up and where, so that they know that they can continue the healing. Yeah, and it's really good that, you know, it's like we're all different, aren't we? I like to do a little bit of teaching within a therapy, and you guys are obviously the same in that. I was just going to quickly add,
Sally Ann. Sorry, it was Sally Ann. Thank you, Richard. He's just put it back on the screen.
Oh yeah, Sally Ann. Always seek Mother Nature remedies first. I don't know about first, but I always think it's a good idea to get anything checked out.
Complimentary, yeah.
My mum had blocked lymph nodes and got apple cider vinegar for her, and there is no longer blocked, no operation necessary. Fabulous.
The reason I wanted to look on that one is I agree with her. I use apple cider, and I have used it for numerous things, and I also used it when I was waiting for my kidney operation. But like Polly said, first I'd say alongside. Yes, if she had lymph nodes blocked, I'm an aromatherapist. I work very heavily with lymph nodes. I do it with reflexology as well. There's lots of things that I agree help. I'm still, I still have my kidney operation. Let's put it that way. I used lots of different things while I was waiting. But, it's great if she's feeling better. But I MRI, CT. So it's still there to work alongside. I just wanted to emphasise on that because I'm a great believer of apple cider vinegar. It is brilliant for if it's got the mother in it. I don't mean literally put your mother in it.
Yeah,
How does that work? It's called the mother, there, and it's cloudy at the bottom, which means it is a natural remedy. And then if you went back in time,
are you supposed to shake
like I said,
before you use it? 'Cause I've often thought that.
Yeah,
Am I
and
supposed
yeah,
to
you
get
can. It's there anyway. I mean, apple cider doesn't really go off either, and it's not like drinking cider, so you're not drinking alcohol. That said, I've known in my clients some people that won't touch it because they think it's alcohol. But it is a great natural remedy. It has gone back centuries as a naturopath and an aromatherapist and working with oils and stuff. Yes, I do know it's good for you, but I still think we have to be mindful when I'm massaging someone or giving them remedies or even giving them, nutritional advice. We still have to be mindful. We can't see in the body. We might be psychic, but we're not totally seeing in. But anyone watching, I agree with apple cider. But please don't always stick to natural remedies. They are to work alongside.
Yeah.
Just my opinion. Yeah. Like I said, I'm a bit controversial because I do all those natural things in my business and then I go and work for the NHS. I'm not plugging the NHS. I'm just saying we must be mindful.
No, but we
Otherwise
need
our
more people like
insurances-
you, Jane, to work alongside both.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
we
so
need.
then you can see both. You can see both
Perfect.
sides. But obviously our insurances will go through the roof if we just told people not to go and get themselves checked out.
Can you imagine?
Anyway, who wants to read Sarah's out?
Sarah King, fear and panic disorder for over 40 years. I've always had a sensitive nature. I started my career as a nurse, starting to heal myself. Good, Sarah, because I think we all go through funny times, don't we? I can honestly say I have, and expect you to have as well, Jane.
Absolutely.
Sarah, where,
Absolutely.
we might be in a good place right now, but there could have been all sorts of things going on. It might be like splitting up from a partner. It could be, a loss. It could be that work has got very overwhelming. It could be any reason in the world. And we do put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We're conditioned to put a lot of pressure on ourselves, aren't we, at the end of the day? And sometimes we have to stop and think, do you know what? I'm really overwhelmed, and especially if you're sensitive, you're probably very empathic. You obviously are empathic if you wanted to be a nurse, because that's healing in a different way, isn't it? Do take care of yourself, Sarah, and look after you first. Always look after you first.
You can't help other people if you're not healthy in mind and body and soul. You just can't.
I've just picked a card for Sarah, a mother's love. Can you see that, Richard? Although it's saying a mother's love, I am getting this person around you is more elderly, and this mum was elderly, but I feel I'm going elderly, so I'm going to go grandmother. And it's someone that I feel is nurturing you at the moment because you have been through a lot. I know you miss them because I feel that you are constantly seeing little reminders. It's weird. I'm not saying it's photographs. I'm seeing like memories. You could be someone, you get memories, fleeting memories of her. I am getting like theatre around you, so I don't know if she took you somewhere like that. And I just want to say she is around you even when you have had those moments of fear and panic. I know anyone that works in any caring profession, whether it be nursing, counselling, nursing homes, anything like that, you are of an empathic, healing nature. That's why you do those roles. People don't realise that even when Sarah was teaching, it's something that you're doing to help and nurture others. It's an instant caring thing. So healing yourself is first and foremost to be able to go on and do that sort of thing. I just want to say this woman is around you. I'm getting the name Pat Patricia thrown at me, but I don't feel that that's actually her name. For some reason, I feel someone shouting that about somebody else around you. You've trained in aromatherapy too. So you've got healing hands. You've got a natural ability to heal. You've got a natural ability to help others. So remember that. And actually, if you're trained in aromatherapy like myself, you can make yourself a little roll-on thing that will help with any anxiety that you can, just have a little sniff. I use sweet orange, bitter orange in it to just sort of uplift. So do that because I feel that that's what you need to go back to. Remember what you can do and what you can do to help yourself, to help you in your panic moments. And Polly's right. We say this all the time. Just because we do things like this does not mean we are not also going through things ourselves and suffering. As I said earlier when I came on the show, I'm actually not doing my NHS job due to the fact that I needed time out. There was a lot of stuff going on and I was literally ready to crash and burn. The lovely Polly warned me to take time out, and thankfully my boss also see that. So always acknowledge when you need to take a step back and look after your own well-being. That is why, that is why we do this, because we have the experience behind us to let other people know we're not perfect. We also suffer the same way as everyone else does. So I hope that helps, and I hope you understand that lady around you. I don't know if Polly can pick up on her, but
I'm not picking up on her. I am picking up on something totally different. I hope it makes sense to you, Sarah, but it feels like there's somebody around you that, oh, by the way, I get the name Rose or Rosemary. Tell us if that makes sense. That's just popped into my head. I keep picking up on that there's been a situation around you. Now, this could have been past, it could be now, it could be something that's coming up into the future, but somebody around you that's either got quite obsessive tendencies or quite addictive tendencies. Okay, so somebody that's sort of draining on your emotional resources. Okay, Sarah, somebody that can be can be quite demanding emotionally. Now, I want to say that there's been worry around them. Okay, so please let us know if it makes sense. Somebody, has been emotionally demanding or draining on another family member or around you. So it feels like they need more help than they're getting, Sarah. I hope that makes some sense. If it doesn't, it's for somebody completely different, because I keep hearing that they need more help than they are currently getting. All right, they need to be heard, they need to be listened to. It does feel like there's help coming, but I don't see the help coming until October, November. So around the Scorpio star sign is better news. All right, when the help comes, or when somebody's taking something more seriously, please let us know. Okay, that's it.
she says she can see, she knows there's someone with her, but I don't think she said any more than that, has she, Richard? No. Okay. Do we have anything else? Have we run out?
Pardon?
We're gonna answer Joanne. We can't see it. Can't see Joanne's comment. You're saying, Joanne? So lovely Joanne. Is that Joanne Lewis? Yeah, lovely Joanne Lewis. Sorry, we can't see it, but Mr. P's just called it out to us. She's saying that many years ago there was natural teeth. I knew the teeth had given in the end. Natural remedies used, and she thinks that GPs should be taught this alongside their other medicine practice. And yeah, I agree. Or they just need to acknowledge complementary therapists like me, Polly and Sarah, and many others that work on this channel, that we also can help. That's more about it. So maybe not teach them it, because believe it or not, to anyone that hasn't practiced in any kind of natural remedy or complementary therapy, there is a lot of training involved.
There's a lot to it. Yeah,
a lot to it. It's not something you just do and go, oh yeah, you've got to remember it, you've got to use it, and it is. When I'm blending herbs, when I'm blending oils and stuff, that isn't just something I just throw together. I have to look at people's medical history, their medication they're on, everything before I can blend, oils. A lot of oils are dangerous to humans and pets. People don't realise that when they're lighting them and lighting candles. So I don't think if you were training medically, you'd really want to be doing that alongside. But
just
certainly
bring people in.
Open, an area where they're open to the fact that they can bring people in. People need to work together, but then we know that in the world, we all need to work together, not keep pulling away from each other. So as lovely as that sounds an idea, I don't think that would ever be feasible because of the training that is involved in someone that specialises as a doctor. Doctors themselves, they do 3 years of learning, and then they can choose to do specialist learning and then go on to be a consultant. They aren't actually they get a degree and they're a doctor. They continue learning and have to go through stages. So
it's like a lot of professionals. You have ongoing training and you have to keep up to date with new things and new techniques and new medicines, everything, isn't it? And also I think alongside and not just inviting people in, it's, I think, more than anything, the empathy skills of doctors needs to be worked on, of them listening to people more, instead of being almost the arrogance of them, of being the expert, which they are, but they need to listen to what they're being told and not just go with, well, no, and like my mum was told, well, that's called shivering. You know, it's seriously, she knows the difference between shivering and a tremor in her arm, you know? It's that listen to the patient, that caring side needs to be brought out more in them.
I guess as well, obviously I won't tar every doctor with the same brush, but there's going to be a lot of doctors that perhaps do agree with the more holistic side of things. However, if you think about a lot of doctors, they're working on a very scientific basis, and often people that work with science are struggle with the let's say the other possibilities. And I think, you know, we're a different genre of people. We're caring for people, we're trying to help, and we're trying to aid in their healing. Yes, we're not medically trained, but a lot of really good therapists, for example, somebody that does aromatherapy, somebody that sorry, not aromatherapy, aromatherapy. I was thinking more like acupuncture, acupressures, that sort of thing. They have got a good general knowledge of the anatomy, for example. And like you said, Jane, you know, before you do any aromatherapy, you've got to do all these procedures. Let's say you've got to look into what they're taking, and is anything going to clash, is anything going to contradict with what they're having. And so there's, you know, I think they like to think we're all in la la land, but
I think that is the annoying thing. And actually we had to do physical anatomy. We all have to do that before we can go on to actually do our treatments. Reflexology, you'd be surprised, it's very dangerous to do on certain people. And you're actually working on their feet, which is hard work, but their feet are identical of the organs in the middle of your body. So you have to know where the organs are, and you have to know what you're touching. And again, you do feel ailments when you're crystallizing there and know there's a problem there. So, but if you didn't learn the anatomy and what happens, you won't be able to talk to them about it. And it's the same with aromatherapy. When you're massaging, people think aromatherapy is a massive, you know, it's massage like everything else. It's not. It's a very gentle massage, because the oils are the ones that are going to work and go into the lymphatic system and actually do the work continuously after you've actually finished. So people need to understand that those oils are still going into their bloodstream, into their body, and we'll be working on them for a certain period of time afterwards. It's not a quick massage, and obviously it does relax you and it does get rid of your muscles as well. But it's about the long term of it and understanding how the body works. And you've got to go down a certain flow. You can't just whack your hands on, throw the oil on and hope for the best. So there is, you know, we haven't just gone, I think I'll do that today, I feel like doing it. We've had to train as well, and we take it seriously. But yes, scientifically, we still learn science to a degree, but they learn a much different science. And that is, Sarah's right, that's where the empathy needs to come in, because I have watched the way doctors talk to patients, and I've actually gone back and gone, now go back and talk to them in English, because I can do that in my job, because I don't care. And as I say, they don't understand the terminology. You haven't spoke to them in a way that they feel appropriate, and they're scared. And they always go, okay, I didn't think of it like that. So it just takes people to tell them, or it takes patients and relatives to actually say, please, can you explain that better? They're not all robots. It's just the way they've been conditioned and the pressure they're under, I think, as well.
It's like,
but they are,
like, you know, said, like with schools, with this, with that, with the other, everybody's under pressure, unfortunately. And there's some, like I said, brilliant doctors, nurses, and lots of people that work in even the receptions and everything in the NHS who are stretched to the max. And, you know, so we do appreciate all of you lovely NHS workers out there and care
100%.
that are not in the NHS, you know, and anybody that works in the medical profession that has got a heart, you know, and that does want to help. And a lot of people, that's what they went into this sort of field for. Unfortunately, they're able to all the time do what they thought they were signing up for. So anyone that is, and anyone that's struggling, and anybody that is suffering with mental health because of being working in that sort of environment. My heart goes out to you all. That's all I can say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And to anyone like Heidi or anyone else that doesn't agree with their diagnosis at their GP or still think that, you know, something's not right, keep going back, keep fighting it. You have to keep, you're not being a pest. You're not sounding like a hypochondriac. You know your own body. Not just, you know, we're just as healers. It's not because we're healing. Everyone does know their own body. You know when there's something wrong with you. You know when you need help. So stick to it and persevere with it. Don't give up because you can't get past the receptionist or you can't get to see a GP. You must keep persevering and make sure your health gets looked at. Don't just give up, because that's the worst thing you can do. But I know it's frustrating for people.
Right, I think we've just about come to the end of today. So
Our serious NHS show.
Yeah, that was very serious. However, it was very interesting and insightful. And thank you so much for everybody for sharing and for interacting today. And as always, to the people that continuously come and watch our shows and all of these shows on SPTV. So thank you, guys. We will be back in 2 weeks' time. And so any last words, ladies?
No, thank you very much for watching, everyone, and all your lovely comments. Yeah, it's amazing. I just love these sorts of topics because they just lead on to other things, don't they? And it's like almost like we could have a whole evening.
We have actually, Richard, you'll be proud of us. We've actually planned the next 2 shows to lead on from this subject. So watch this space, people. Watch this space. Is there anyone you want us to advertise tonight before we go redo anything? No? Okay, so don't forget, people, we've got brunch tomorrow, the lovely Alison and Dawn, and then, oh no, Alison, she's still poorly. So, okay. Dawn and Nick, is that Reverend Nick? I still haven't got to see him. Reverend Nick. And in the evening, we got the lovely Matt and Kirsty. So please do tune in to that. And now, from us, it's goodbye from you.
It's goodbye from me. And it's
goodbye from her.
Take care, everyone.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.